in more ways than one. Mechanical messiahs from a forgotten island. But behind their plastic armour lay something more powerful. A marketing campaign that would change history and then vanish without a trace. This is the tale of Bionicle, LEGO's forgotten saviour.
LEGO is 90 years old. It was founded in Denmark in 1932, and initially it was a company that made wooden toys, but then in the 1950s it launched its trademark product, the one we all know now, the plastic LEGO brick.
To understand the legend that is Bionicle, we must first make a visit to their ancestors. Let us travel back to 1932. In the quiet town of Billund, nestled in the Danish countryside, our remarkable story begins. Here, a humble carpenter by the name of Ole Kirk Christiansen, driven by resilience during difficult times, sets about crafting simple wooden toys, stepladders and ironing boards. But unbeknownst to him, he is planting the first seeds of a creative revolution. 2 years later, he christens his fledgling company LEGO, a name drawn from the Danish phrase leg godt, meaning play well. By a delightful twist of fate, the word Lego in Latin translates to I assemble, foreshadowing the destiny that lies ahead. Time passes, nature evolves, and so too does LEGO. In 1958, Ole's son, Gottfred Kirk Christiansen, perfects what would become the foundation of imaginative play the world over. The iconic interlocking plastic brick. With its ingenious stud and tube design, the brick clicks together with a satisfying certainty, firm yet forgiving, allowing for endless combinations and boundless creativity. LEGO flourishes. Like the spreading branches of an ancient tree, it reaches across continents and generations, nurturing the spirit of play in both young and old. Hard times. This abundance follows them into the 90s, until they hit a devastating roadblock. You see, it's 1999, and the children's media epidemic is now in full swing. Boy groups are singing and dancing to the cheers of millions. Families all over the world are beginning to hallucinate talking sponges, and pets are being held inside electronic eggs instead of cages. A simple time indeed. While much of the world is booming and prosperous, LEGO finds themselves without the spoils of the era and have fallen on hard times. In an effort to evolve, the LEGO Group has begun a curious transformation. Seeking to attract a new generation of younglings, it floods the market with a bewildering array of new themes. Rock Raiders, space, Belleville, which gives home to the less than memorable Girl with Two Cats. Yet in this struggle for innovation, the core essence of the brand begins to erode. Sets become less versatile. More complex pieces replace the humble brick. The children, once architects of their own universes, now follow instruction manuals more like consumers than creators. Compounding this pain, an onslaught of predators enter the ecosystem. Creeds such as Pokemania and Furbyism have begun to take center stage. Then there's the video game console. With flashing lights, endless worlds, and immediate gratification, it captures the attention LEGO once held so dear. Meanwhile, internal chaos brews. With thousands of unique elements in circulation, LEGO's manufacturing system groans under the weight. Like a creature with too many limbs, it begins to stumble, unable to sustain its own bulk. A new hope emerges, however. Thinking outside the box, LEGO begins a partnership with the mighty Star Wars to promote the upcoming Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, set to launch in this very year of 1999. Though LEGO is garnering attention once again, Lucasfilm is proving to be an issue. Because Lucasfilm owns the rights to Star Wars, royalty payments to the film studio have severely cut into LEGO's profits. The majestic LEGO, once the undisputed king of constructive play, now teeters on the brink of extinction. Low profits spell doom for the once bustling doctrine. The Inception. At the dawn of the new millennium, as the LEGO Group sits on the brink of financial collapse, a glimmer of possibility begins to emerge from the shadows. A new being stirs. It is not a car, not a castle, not a spaceship. From the mind of Christian Faber, a vision takes form. He calls them cybots, biomechanical beings, crafted not from steel and wire, but from pure imagination. Faber studies the human body, a wondrous system of interconnected parts, and asks, what if you got a box full of spare parts and built a living thing? While a worthy pursuit, the being known as the cybot would never see the light of day. However, other evolutionary experiments soon arrive in the form of slicers, aka throwbots, in the US and Canada. These remarkable creatures are crafted with an ingenious ball and cup articulation system, allowing them to move more freely. The slicers are intriguing in that they have their own storyline and are split up into elemental zones, concepts that we will soon see more of. The slicers were part of LEGO's Technic line, a theme that has its focus set on motion and complexity. Using beams, pins, gears and axles, this remarkable system allows builders to replicate the intricate mechanisms found in the natural and industrial world, but in miniature. Succeeding the slicers are of course the Robo-Riders. They are robotic anthropomorphic motorcycles, each one a fusion of man and machine, sculpted once again with elemental mastery in mind. Dedicated followers of the Robo-Riders can find secret codes placed on the canisters they come in to uncover hidden secrets online. These are noble ancestors indeed. Though crude by comparison, they lay essential groundwork. But the true leap forward has yet to occur. Then, drifting through the corridors of LEGO headquarters, a strange new name echoes. Boneheads of Voodoo Island. Prototypes of the saviors to come. While somewhat lacking in elegance, the concept holds within it a rare and potent vitality. Collaborating with Bob Thompson and Martin Reba Anderson, and rewritten by the scribe Alistair Swinnerton, the project evolves. On a quiet day in Billund, Denmark, the idea is reborn. It is christened Bionicle, a fusion of biological and chronicle. The revolution is upon us. Bionicle is here. The story. Bionicle is truly a mythos all its own, a sweeping saga told through lore and legend. It blends tribal motifs inspired by Maori culture with a futuristic, cybernetic aesthetic. It unfolds on the mysterious island of Matanui, an Eden of elemental landscapes and ancient secrets located on the ocean moon of Aqua Magna. 6 canisters, weathered by time, crash upon the shores. From within them emerge the Toa Mata, towering biomechanical heroes, each imbued with mastery over one of the island's elements. They are warriors of fire, water, air, stone, ice, and earth, each forged in the spirit of balance and destiny by the legendary being known as Artaka. And so begins a most extraordinary chapter in the island's history. Their mission is perilous, yet clear, to defeat the dark and evil Makuta and restore balance to the world. But power on Matanui is not drawn from strength alone. The Toa don sacred artifacts known as konoi, masks imbued with incredible abilities. As you can see, Bionicle does not simply entertain, it awakens imagination with its in-depth lore. A far cry from the simple bricks of old and a fever dream, to say the least. The Rise. In December of the year 2000, Bionicle emerges quietly onto the scene. A cautious release. Europe and Australasia serve as the testbed, an evolutionary proving ground to observe how this new organism will fare. Alongside it, a digital domain is unveiled, the official website, a portal into a world unlike anything LEGO has ever attempted before. Stories, quests, secrets. The response is immediate. It's enthusiastic and promising. And so, in the spring of 2001, Bionicle crosses the ocean to the land of North America, taking the continent by storm. New sets arrive with the rhythm of the seasons. Every 6 months, a fresh wave. The figures evolve. They grow larger, more articulated, more expressive. Vehicles emerge, playsets, constructs of fantasy and function, drawing the young and curious into ever deeper waters. And yet, there is more. There are collectibles, weapons, tools, and of course, the most coveted of all, the konoi masks, each one infused with a story. Some, rare and glimmering with mystery, hold hidden codes that unlock untold power. When entered into the Bionicle website, these codes unlock Konoka Club Points, a primitive currency enabling access to exclusive realms of membership and lore, something akin to the V-Bucks of the modern era. Bionicle as a creed, as a people, has become entwined within true digital-physical symbiosis, a new life form in LEGO's evolutionary tree. And as it spreads across the globe, one thing becomes clear. The age of Bionicle has begun. Kids from across the globe gather to indulge in this newfound faith of the Bionicle. And with every good faith comes a good book. In this case, it comes with many, many books, filled to the brim with detailed stories chronicling the history of the Toa Mater in ways that most elementary students likely cannot possibly comprehend, but find themselves spellbound by nevertheless. And it's not just about the books. Oh no. You see, Bionicle is a multimedia religion. Comics, video games and movies all come together to detail this massive new universe. You'll find that even the commercials on TV preaching the good word of Bionicle are filled with the extravagant gravitas of a major blockbuster picture. Bionicle, unlike its ancestors, contains an edgy grit filled with enough backstory to make Polly Pocket's head spin. It's easy to understand why one may get invested in such a phenomenon, as many have. It would seem that finally LEGO has found their saviours in the Toa Mater, relieving them from the impending doom of bankruptcy and placing them within the ranks of the children's media pantheon amongst the likes of Pikachu and the Red Ranger. As the sun rises higher in the sky, Bionicle enters its golden age. What began as an experiment now stands as a colossus, as massive as the Toa Mater themselves, a towering achievement within LEGO. By 2003, Bionicle has become more than just a successful theme for LEGO, it is the successful theme, the crown jewel of the LEGO empire, practically an empire all of its own as a matter of fact. It is named the #1 LEGO theme not once but twice. first in 2003 and again in 2006. In these years, as other themes falter, Bionicle carries the company upon its shoulders with a little help from IP tie-ins here and there. Financially, it becomes the lifeblood of the brand and accounts for nearly all LEGO's turnover across the entire decade. It is a titan, not only in toy aisles, but in the digital realm as well. The official website buzzes with activity, quizzes, animations, secret lore. It attracts over 1 million page views every month, an astonishing figure in the early internet era. Children from across the world gather in this virtual Matanui, hungry for story, for code, for discovery, unlocking all manner of hidden treasures. The masks and legends of Matanui slip into the mainstream, finding their way into lunchboxes and cereal aisles and birthday parties. A true believer would not dare wash their dishes without the Bionicle Morbazok sponge. No follower would even dream of speaking the word of Bionicle without first brushing their teeth with the Toa Metru toothbrushes. Even the legendary Nike embraces Bionicle with their exclusive pair of shoes, complete with interchangeable masks. These biomechanical warriors are no longer confined to shelves. No, they are everywhere. The saga thrives, the myth deepens, and the world watches, unaware that every empire, no matter how grand, eventually faces the shadow of decline. The Fall. Though the deep lore of Bionicle has been part of its rapid appeal, it is here we see that things begin to get out of sorts. What was once a tale of 6 elemental heroes on a distant island slowly evolves into something far more sprawling. The island of Matanui, once thought to be the entire world, is revealed to be merely the surface of an ancient machine, a biomechanical titan the size of a planet. From here, the world of Bionicle expands at an exponential rate. Factions multiply. The Toa, once unique, are now legion. The Brotherhood of Makuta emerges. They are mysterious and numerous. There are the Dark Hunters, the Order of Matanui, the Baraki warlords in the deep, and countless species of Rahi beasts and biomechanical tribes. Each carries its own name, culture and purpose, and the lore, once mythological, begins to require reference guides on forums just to follow. Video essays and well-organized Reddit posts are not yet a part of the culture, so this ever-complex universe becomes increasingly difficult to comprehend over time. A single narrative thread branches into a dense web of prequels, parallel universes, ancient prophecies, and plot points spanning thousands of years. For the loyal, this complexity becomes a treasure trove, but for newcomers, it becomes an impenetrable barrier. The story no longer invites with mystery, it demands homework. In nature, all things grow, and all things age. So too does Bionicle's original following. The children who once hung on every comic panel and every bio on the LEGO website now face new fascinations. LEGO attempts to attract a new generation. But the world has changed. Children now crave the instantly recognizable. Franchises like Star Wars, Batman, and Harry Potter dominate pop culture and offer simple entry points. By comparison, Bionicle, dense, lore-heavy, and deeply original, feels foreign, even alien. Its aesthetic, once revolutionary, is no longer in vogue. Its darker tone, its tribal themes, and its unfamiliar, hard-to-remember names stand apart in a market moving towards glossy, simplified storytelling. And just one look at the plethora of Bionicle figures, many of them are rather similar in appearance, wouldn't you say? The colour palette is limiting, and the masks all begin to blend together. especially to the untrained eye. The more Toas that are revealed to the public, the less each individual Toa stands out. Very much a difficult sell compared to the distinct and dynamic designs of something like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The old followers drift into newer creeds to worship. The new ones never fully arrive. What remains is a passionate, shrinking cult. Dedicated, loyal, and endangered. As 2006 rolls around, LEGO shifts to a new system, the Inika build. The figures become taller, sleeker, more posable. However, they also become more uniform. The complexity wanes. Mechanical play features that once were so vital to the early identity of Bionicle fade into memory. Sets across different years begin to look even more similar. Villains and heroes share the same frames, the same limbs, even the same weapons. Innovation gives way to repetition. Meanwhile, the story reaches a climax so large, so abstract, that it struggles to connect emotionally. Matanui is revealed as a literal god machine. Makuta, once a singular villain, becomes an entire species. The plot escalates to cosmic proportions, but loses the intimacy that once grounded it. In an effort to keep the story going, the creators decide to go more and more massive until they simply have nowhere else to go. It is November of 2009. After a decade of creation, evolution and legend, LEGO makes a quiet but quite disturbing decision. The age of Bionicle must come to an end. Sales have waned far too drastically. Newcomers no longer flock to its complex universe. The sheer weight of its mythos and redundant character designs are too much to keep the sacred religion of Bionicle alive. It's 2010, and the line is tired. The common folk now worship the likes of the Nintendo Wii and Lady Gaga. Bionicle's final wave, Stars, is a quiet farewell. Followers could now collect the Golden Bionicle, but other than that, there wasn't much fanfare. Smaller sets, simplified designs, and a nostalgic send-off rather than a bold next chapter. Greg Farshti, the veteran architect of Bionicle's canon, requests to continue the saga, and well, LEGO surprisingly grants his wish. New serials appear online, published chapter by chapter on bioniclestory.com. In this digital sanctuary, the flame flickers on. But as time marches forward, even Farshti must slow. It's 2011, and commitments pull him away. The stories pause. In 2013, the website goes dark. Its chapters frozen mid-sentence, incomplete, unfinished, a myth cut short. The heartbeat slows and then stops. Bionicle is no more, given not so much as a time of death. An absolute tragedy, untimely even, cast aside and replaced with a new and less iconic toy line called Hero Factory. At least, it would seem so. The Reboot. The years are passing. Smartphones are now the supreme religion. Cinematic video games and gargantuan superhero popcorn flicks flood the masses with entertainment. But there are whispers of a simpler and simultaneously more convoluted time in pop culture. Deep within LEGO's creative halls, something stirs. A whisper of revival. A team begins work on the unthinkable. The return of Bionicle, killed only to rise again. Perhaps in hopes of capturing young millennial and Gen Z nostalgia. Matt Bettiker, once a junior designer on Hero Factory, now rises to the helm as senior designer of this new vision. His task is daunting. He must revive a fallen titan, but reshape it for a new world. A world faster, louder, less patient. In October of 2014, beneath the bright lights of New York Comic Con, the announcement echoes. Bionicle is back. A new generation dawns. Fans call it Generation 2. The story is familiar, echoing the elemental journey of the original Sixth Tower, but the lore, it is stripped down, streamlined. The web of myth and memory is replaced with clarity and simplicity. The sets arrive in January 2015. Reactions are divided. Some praise the elegant designs, the refined play features. It seems like a return to form, but others mourn what is lost. The world building, the depth, the soul, and yes, even the convoluted lore and twists. The new characters speak less, dream less, feel less. The magic for many does not return. By late 2016, the silence resumes. LEGO quietly ends the line. Planned sets for 2017 vanish into the mist. No grand finale, no climactic send-off, just a whisper, then stillness. Among the community, a quiet understanding forms. The reboot, though noble, is underfed. Marketing is sparse. Fans are asked to carry the flame, but the torch is heavy and too many hands have moved on. The Bionicle of yesteryear, while it faced much competition, said competition pales in comparison to what it is now competing with at this juncture. Too many things are vying for the masses' attention, and Bionicle, its fan base is niche, a relic, and the nostalgia simply isn't strong enough to carry the new generation forward. And thus, perhaps for good this time, the Bionicle empire finally crumbled. It lay there to this day, dormant, decrepit, obscured underneath the bustling LEGO regime, never to be seen again. The aftermath. Atop the foundation that is Bionicle lies the future we find ourselves in today. For if it were not for those brave warriors, perhaps LEGO as we know it would not exist. As stated, LEGO was on the brink of extinction before the Bionicle came to save them. If Bionicle never came to be, would we have Legoland theme parks all across the world? Would successful themes like Ninjago, filled with lore and characters of its own, have ever had a chance to take the stage? Surely Bionicle walked so Ninjago could run. And what of the critical and commercial successes of the LEGO movies? I shudder to imagine a world where everything is not awesome. Even LEGO's video games breathe new life into familiar franchises of yore in addition to modern day hits. Whether they acknowledge it publicly or not, LEGO owes much of its spoils today to the work done by the mysterious warriors on that biomechanical island of Matanui, the future. What artifacts of Bionicle remain today? What ruins can we discover of this forgotten rule? These legends are immortalized by a brief cameo in the LEGO movie, although a rather disrespectful immortalization. They nearly received their flowers in the LEGO movie too, as seen in concept art for the film. Alas, these characters never made the cut in the final product, as we soon would find out. Though no longer a mainstream religion, the Bionicle subreddit boasts almost 70,000 followers at the time of this documentary. Though they are small in numbers, passionate believers still exist, preserving the legacy of Bionicle in dusty plastic boxes and tins upon their shelves. Their undying love and dedication can be found spread across message boards all over the World Wide Web, spanning over 2 decades. Will Bionicle ever return again? Is a third generation just around the corner? It is difficult to say at the moment. What we can all take away though, is that it is not simply the success of LEGO that this empire leaves behind. Nay, it is the memories forged by Bionicle. held within the hearts and minds of thousands, if not millions, that holds the most precious treasure of all.